Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two fun mounted civilizations with great infantry, chunky heavy cavalry units, and free ecotech upgrades collide as Hera, playing as the Burmese in blue, gets ready to duke it out with MbL, playing as the Franks in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad time for us to take a look at not only rhino butts, but also the civilizations we'll be watching today. The Burmese are a civilization that loves to play around with their mounted units. Their battle elephants come with free extra armor and can be upgraded to get even more armor. Their cavalry units can be upgraded to get a powerful +4 attack boost against archers, and their unique unit, the Arambai, is a ranged cavalry unit that throws darts at its opponents with absolute horrible dog shit accuracy. I'm talking about 20-30% accuracy. But here's the thing, even darts that miss, well, they deal 100% damage to the units they land on compared to the usual 50% damage that other archer units do when they miss. And to support and protect their mounted units, especially their elephants on the field of battle, the Burmese actually have a few pretty darn cool options. To start with, if you want to go the infantry route, all Burmese infantry units get a progressive +1 attack boost starting in the Feudal Age all the way up to +3 in the Imperial. Or you can choose to go the route of the game's only spellcaster, the Monk. If you go this route, not only do Monk technologies cost 50% less, let's actually take a look. Redemption, instead of 475, costs you 238, for example. But take a look at the mini-map. The Burmese actually start every single game knowing exactly where all the relics are out onto the map, which makes gathering relics pretty darn simple. Not easy, but simpler than usual. You know where they are, your monk techs are cheaper, and so no excuse not to get at least 2 or 3 relics when you're playing as the Burmese. That'll help you build the infrastructure that's needed to pump out large amounts of units. All lumber camp technologies come in free of charge. Now let's take a look at the other side of the flat earth here, where we've got MbL playing as the Franks in red, the OG cavalry civilization going back all the way to the last freaking millennium. Their knights come with extra line of sight, their stables can be upgraded to work much faster, and all of their mounted units get extra HP starting in the Feudal Age. And to support their heavy cavalry in the field of battle against pesky annoying things like halberdiers, especially ones that come with +3 attack in Imperial, well, the Franks can turn to their unique unit, the Throwing Axemen. This is a ranged infantry unit similar to the Malian Gebeto, whose range can be even further increased. That'll help you train as many Throwing Axemen as possible. Castles for the Franks come in at a 15% discount in the Castle Age, and then cost 25% less in Imperial. That help feed a big militaristic population. Frankish foragers work 15% faster than normal, and they get all mill upgrades free of charge. And so we've got lumber camp tech versus mill tech. We've got battle elephants with ridiculous amounts of armor versus paladins with ridiculous amounts of HP. And to be fair, we've got, for mounted civilizations, both of these civs actually have pristine infantry lines, meaning they get all barracks and all blacksmith upgrades. Although again, head to head with civ bonuses. Look at this. Look at MbL. What a gentleman. What an absolute gentleman here. Returning not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goats that he managed to poach, or potentially poach. Although, wait a second. Gentleman may not be the right term here, because I think he's using one of these goats to actually explore Hera's base. He has, by the way, located where Hera's base is, has our Frank. And so, potentially on paper, at least, these civilizations look fairly similar. Look, he's not going to make it easy for Hera. He says, you know what? I'm going to give you back 3 of your 4 goats, but I'm going to park them right outside here, which means you're going to have to actually go and get them and pick them up like children at a daycare, because I'm not going to make it easy for you. I'm not going to, you know, lame you. I'm not going to be a douchebag about it, but I'm not going to make it easier for you. I'm not going to make it easy for you, period. Let's see if Hera has discovered his opponent. He has not. And man, oh man, do you love to see the Burmese with their relics sighting out on the map. On a map like Arena, for example, where getting relics is a very integral part of the meta. The Burmese very much shining on that kind of map. And Hera, he sees the secondary, sees the tertiary gold, so he knows he's in the right area. Let's take a look at where he's going, because he is going to hit Feudal Age first, about 20 or so seconds ahead of his opponent. And now he knows exactly where MbL is, and he can start his little loop-de-loop strudel-style exploration of the base, which MbL has already completed. and sees that his opponent is now in the Feudal Age. And so that Spearman, when he pops out of here to shoo away this scout, will come with a free +1 attack, which is not a bad thing at all to have in the Feudal Age. Let's take a look at the map while the players kind of explore, kind of continue poking and prodding with vision. The usual relic in the dead center of the map. Lots and lots of hills, lots of forests between the two players. And here's that Spearman with 3+1. I mean, that's a 33% increase in attack. For a unit that already comes with a pretty darn +15 impressive attack bonus against the cavalry, having another 33% tacked on, you know, +1 doesn't seem like much, but in terms of percentages, can actually be significant. Speaking of significant, primary gold kind of to the forward, but not really on the attack path. Stone to the back for Hera, as are two luscious forests. Not bad at all, especially when you get a lumber camp text free of charge. Extra gold in the forward position, extra stone and gold. Ooh. So out of the 5 resources, 3 of them very much in the forward position here, as we've already got a scuffle erupting in front of the Frankish base. I can see that Frankish gold, as we saw earlier, the 2nd and the 3rd patch, very much exposed to the front. So not a great spawn for either player, although we'll take a look at MbL's base in a second. 3 arenas of war already happening here. Town center firing as much as it can on Hera's units, but Hera gets the first kill of the game, as a Frankish Spearman lies dead, and there's that +1 attack bonus, or attack boost rather. And now Hera wants to get the hell out of here, but he's trapped. He loses a Spearman who's coming to reinforce. He loses a scout who gets poked in the ass as he's trying to escape confinement. But MbL extends a little bit too far, loses a Spearman of his own. Okay, so kills 2 apiece. Nothing particularly crazy at the moment. It looks like MbL still has his spotting goat here to the rear of the base. Hera can leave anytime he wants. This house is what's the expression? In potentia. It's not really there. It kind of wants to be there, but not really. Let's see, he's gonna have to run through the gauntlet of town center fire. 8 villagers go inside, manage to gun down a 2nd unit, this time a scout. Hera brings another scout. I see another blue dot moving across the map, but he's overstayed his welcome, and MbL is letting him know, hey buddy, party's over, time to get out. I want to go to sleep. I gotta go to the gym earlier in the morning. Yeah, right. Words that if this was Jeopardy, I'd be like, words that never come out of your caster's mouth for $1,000, Alex. Although I guess there's no more Alex Trebek, unfortunately. But Spearman versus Spearman, Scout versus Scout, Feudal Age shenanigans, and chasing begins here. Hera leaving the front door open. Let's take a look at MbL's resources in the meantime. Primary gold and stone to the back. Not bad at all. So what the developers giveth with the great location of the primaries, they taketh with the absolute shitty location of the 2nd and 3rd patch. Hera gets another kill here. Another Spearman. I believe Hera does still have, or pardon me, no, Hera got that kill. Now he's taking the high ground with the +1 attack. So this red Spearman, let's see how much damage he can actually get done here, as the HPs are falling for both, but falling a lot quicker for red here. Will he be able to just, by the skin of his teeth, manages to kill that one Burmese Spearman, and the kill count 7-4. Where's the secondary stone for our Frank? Okay, a little bit up to the north. Secondary stone, perhaps not the most important of resources for our Frank, given that their castles are so ridiculously cheap. Well, cheaper. Used to be 25% flat across the board. Then the developer said, hey, you know, the Franks are so powerful. Their cavalry is so good. Their food eco bonuses are so amazing. You know what they need a nerf with? They need a nerf with 65 stone in Castle Age. And yeah, make it make sense. That's what the developers tried to do. And I don't think it had any real effect. I don't think 65 stone extra in the Castle Age that the Franks now have to pay for their castles is going to make that, or has made that big of a difference. Where's the spotting goat? I mean, Hera at this point, he's just missing that goat. So he must wonder where the hell, you know, I thought we were gentlemen here. I thought we had agreed to the Marquis de whatever fisticuffs rules. And you have stolen my goat, good sir. Little does he know MbL did not steal the goat, but wait a second. First Vil kill of the game going to our Frank. But perhaps it is MbL's turn to overstay his welcome here. Although with 2 archers, maybe not. Although 2 skirmishers, there's no way to end a party quicker as against archers than to shove out 2 skirmishers. Another villager dies. Why the hell was Hera fighting that scout with those villagers? Okay, in any event, down 2 vills, military kills, 10 apiece. Spotting goat still unspotted, and we've got more action here in the center of the map. But Feudal Age appears to be over, at least for our Burmese, who's heading up to the Castle Age, 2.5 minutes away. Hera's racked up a serious amount of TC idle time here. 40 seconds is a villager and a half, almost 2 vills worth of TC idle time. That being said, he is putting on the aggression. MbL's got 4 archers. They are being hounded by a not-so-cowardly lion. And what the hell is this? This was open? Open for a trap, maybe, as MbL, our Frank, gets another kill here. So far, so good for our Frank, who, unbeknownst to his opponent, is on the other side of the map, and also about a minute behind going up to the Castle Age. Although, to be fair, not exactly like Hera has a giant map presence here. Not exactly like Hera's secured his own settlement and borders. And MbL must be laughing, saying, hey, come on. I'm giving you this goat. Why aren't you getting the goat? Why is the caster so fixated on a freaking goat? I have no idea. The things that happen here. A 3rd villager kill, possibly a 4th. A 4th villain. Hera again. He stops the fight with villagers. Now, these aren't exactly Vietnamese archers. They don't come with 20% more HP. They don't come with free armor upgrades like the Koreans. But oh my god, all of a sudden, 6 dead villagers for our Burmese. Possibly even more? No. The skirmishers should shoo this away. And more importantly, Castle Age should shoo this away. Skirmishers do come with armor now. There's also a scuffle in the middle of the map, it looks like. And Hera again using his villagers to kill or try to kill, but loses another one. 7 dead villagers. What happened here in the middle of the map? Looks like a bunch of dead blue skirmishers. Not too sure what this double piece is. Maybe a skirmisher. Yeah, kind of looks like that, right? Right. 3 skirmishers lie dead in the center of the map as Hera in Castle expands with a TC to the rear, as MbL expands with a TC to the rear as well. Ooh, why here? Why not move it a few tiles this way? Sometimes the castle placement or the town center placement is a little of a bit of a head scratcher. And then you realize, oh yeah, no, they're doing like 17,000 things at once here. And so no surprise that they're not exactly getting every little tiny thing perfect. And that's where as a caster, you got to kind of step back, maybe as a viewer as well, and be like, you know what? As fun as it is to backseat, as fun as it is to armchair general and criticize, you're not the one playing, Isaac. And so maybe you should shut your mouth about being a tile this way, a tile that way. In any event, Cav Archers are the name of the game for our Burmese. They gun down the last of the forward Feudal Age scouts, and our Frank going crossbowman. Okay, so our Frankish cavalry civilization with the pristine infantry line is going crossbowman against the Burmese. To be fair, I mean, if you'll notice a few things about the Burmese Cav Archer. Number one, look at the top left of your screen. Ugh. Not only are they missing the last Imperial Age armor upgrade, they're missing a Castle Age armor upgrade. That is not frequent. That's like the Malay Battle Elephant missing the last 2 armor upgrades. Or I could say the 2nd and 3rd armor upgrades. This is not a unit that has longevity. Although, speaking of, this is not a unit that has longevity either. The Franks do not get Arbalesters unless I'm completely off my rocker. No Arbalesters, no final attack upgrade, no final armor upgrade. And so we are firmly in the Castle Age, and we are living it. And we are going to live and fight and die in the Castle Age, it looks like, with these 2 players, skirmishers, out for our Frank as well. So our heavy cavalry civ, with, again, the pristine infantry, is now basically all in on archer units. Scout's got to be careful. Hera shoves him in. Was not expecting a TC there, I guess. And now this is the moment where MbL might want to get one of his villagers to fight. Here he is chasing with a pickaxe, but the skirmishers get the job done nonetheless. And let's see, 3 town centers for our Burmese. I like this one next to the stone, not bad at all. Hera's trying to get his first villager kill of the game, but he's going to have to settle for a farm with a rug on it. No, never mind. He's going after that farm. And oh no. High ground, better unit. Although they are both at +2, +1 currently. Bloodline still 15 seconds away. So these Burmese cavalry archers are not exactly where they need to be. Why are you risking your monk? Not that MbL's going after the monk, but why are you risking it? And that is all she wrote for Hera's entire offensive force. Even though he's lost this, he still does have 11 army count. And now it's MbL starting to shove a scout in the rear of his opponent's base. By the way, speaking of MbL, also up to a 3rd town center right next to the stone. Okay, so our Frank is starting to get stone in earnest. He's getting town watch. He's going to be able to see Hera coming from a mile away. A 4th town center. Okay, our Frank thinks that he's in a comfortable position here, having killed 7 villagers and having taken no vill losses, that he can comfortably expand his economy. And with skirmishers, he can zone out these cav archers very well. No trade is a good trade here. And at the same time, MbL, oh, be still my heart. Be still my heart. More and more outposts. I absolutely love that we are seeing pro players getting more outposts, although this one's going to get very quickly discovered. And the second it is, the cav archers are moving in as well. And that is 1 dead Frankish villager. Same time, our Frank moves forward with a pretty sizable force of skirmishers, 14 of them. They may not be the quickest. Oh, look at this. MbL trying to sacrifice and actually sacrificing a scout just so that he can try to save the villager. But why didn't you keep running away with the villager? Why did you stop in the middle of the bat country and start constructing the outpost? Might as well cancel this one as well for all the tiny amount of resources you get back with an outpost. Not exactly the costliest of structures. And he's continuing down here. I love this. He does not want to get sideswiped by Hera. For now, Hera does have 2 relics, as behooves our Burmese. Although, why isn't he investing in any of these fervor sanctity upgrades? The monks will move faster, be a little tankier out on the map. MbL sees this, by the way. Where's Hera going? Oh, he wants a villager. Hera's managed to get 2 kills, by the way, 2 villager kills. And now he's going to get a 3rd. No, pardon me. MbL's going to get an 8th. As he closes in on these cavalry. Oh, he's trying to sideswipe. And then finally, somebody's got some melee cavalry husbandry on the way as well. MbL ahead 26, army count to 22. But of that 26, 15 are just skirmishers. They are on the high ground here. There are some crossbowmen mixed in. But MbL continuing his outpost expansion to the bottom. What's happening here? A scout and a monk walk into a bar. Neither sees the other. And let's see. Oh, this is such a juicy target here. Again, no fervor, no sanctity. Means that these monks are so slow, so exposed. Hera also going up to a 4th town center. He's down 7 villagers on the whole. 6 through kills, 1 through TC idle time, I guess, or TC resting time. Oh, and if only this scout wasn't expanding, exploring the literal edge of the world, he would have caught that monk. But Hera returns home. Almost returns home. With a 3rd relic, our Burmese managed to get 1, or our Frank rather manages to get 1, secures the 2nd. We'll see whether or not, yeah, the monk is already en route. Well, there you go. We, like I said, we are firmly entering and staying in and loving the Castle Age here, because I don't see a future for either of these 2 armies, so I'm not surprised the players want to kind of trade out with one another. Although Hera going for some Vill kills gets 1 and loses a whole bunch of units for it. MbL establishing his center position. Now another castle. It used to be so simple back in the day, you know. You have Frankish castle, how much does it cost? Easy peasy, 488. That's how much it is. So whatever 488 minus, or rather plus another 65 stone, what would that be? 488, 4, oh my goodness. 488 and 60 is 548. And then another 553, I guess, stone. Basically 100 stone discount. Getting hand card for our Burmese. So even though he's down 1 villager, his economy is going to be a little bit better. once he gets that upgrade. But unfortunately, as Hera focuses on his economy, MbL is focusing on going up to the Imperial Age. Hera still needs 100 food, 100 gold. And MbL is being incredibly risky. We saw this in the game with the Viper yesterday when he just didn't wall his base in at all. And then incrementally, unit by unit, monk over here, villager over here, military unit over here. He just dies through a good number of side attacks. Although staying on move command is definitely not something you want to do against a bunch of Burmese knights. Not that our Burmese has a castle to get mana per cavalry. Might be one of the least researched technologies I have ever seen in Age of Empires. And man, oh man, would it come in handy right now to have a ridiculous +4 attack boost against units that have 30 and 35, pardon me, 35 HP. +4 is more than what? It's like 13% of their HP gone with mana per cavalry. Well, he's getting a castle. He's going to see this castle going up. No, he's going to see a knight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Our Frank. Oh my god, Hera again fighting military units with his villagers. Is there some kind of challenge on Twitch where somebody dared Hera to fight with his non-Spanish, non-Incan villagers? They do manage to get the knight. They do manage to spot the castle. And now he's finally building a castle of his own, finally getting his own elite skirmishers. Markets are in the way, but you're not Saracen markets. You are paying full price, and now you're losing villagers. Ouch. 16 dead villagers to 3, 17 dead villagers to 3. And your opponent is in the Imperial Age, but Hera's only 25 seconds away himself. Treb will pop out first for our Burmese. I don't see any high ground available for him. Hera, though, has a little bit of high ground here. I guess he could put a Treb once he hits. Unfortunately for him, he can't afford a Treb. What he can afford is a second castle right behind his first one, and we're in Imperial. Not too sure what the hell this army is still doing here, but look at the top right of your screen. Our Frank is beginning to train knights, and he's beginning to plop down stables. He's going up to 6. Hera, I don't know what he's training at the moment. He's going up to Cavalier. He's got 14 knights, but he's not actually training any more military units, focusing at the moment on upgrades and trebuchets. He will outnumber 1, 2 trebs. Very defensive castle. I mean, so far MbL is playing this like a player who really expects his opponent to sideswipe him. And look at the map vision for our Frank. Oh my god, he sees like 85% of the map. This is amazing. Hera sees an undefended Treb, and like a greedy little kid at Willy Wonka's factory, he pounces, gets the Treb, and backs away. What's the line from Napoleon Dynamite? Break the elbow, break the wrist, walk away, break the something, walk away. Oh, 2 villagers building this castle means that this Cav Archer is going to have a field day. Will he be able to even get one, though? He does not have ballistics. One upgrade that Hera did not invest into. And so we'll see whether or not he can get even a single villager here, as there is a fracas in the back of the Frankish base. Oh no, one of the only 2 villagers constructing runs away, but he brings in the others. This should be a dead Cav Archers, especially now that our Frank... This is an Imperial Age where the Frankish cavalry 20% extra HP begins to shine. Looks like there have been a bunch of dead villagers as well. 34 dead vills to 3. With Cavaliers against the civilization that has, like, the Burmese bloodlines. The Cavalier only has 4 extra HP for the Franks. 144 to 140. But the Paladin is where it starts kicking in. By the way, both players at a +1 attack, fully armored. Looks like Hera is attacking the center of our Frankish base as well at the same time. But I want to see how many villager kills. So far, it looks like he's gotten 3 vill kills, while our Burmese is just running amok here. And Hera's been cleaned up inside the Frankish base. He's losing Treb after Treb after Treb. This is where 4 extra HP perhaps might come in handy, as they chase like a conga line of death, and down goes the last of the Trebs. The Daniel Day-Lewis Treb falls, and now he's getting Halberdier. Should have gotten that 5 minutes ago. The second you hit Imperial, I don't know if you want to compete heavy cavalry to heavy cavalry, or at the very least start pumping out some elephants with that free +1/+1 armor, or then even Howdah. Oh my goodness. The Burmese techs are so underrated. +2/+2 armor for free and with Howda for so cheap. +4 attack against archers could have helped out so much earlier. But MbL defending back home loses only 3 villagers, it looks like. Hera, what are these? These are not outposts. These are just cavalry units. And I'm going to look again. Look at the line of sight of our Frank. I mean, this is a war game, and in war games, like in real war, information is worth its weight in frickin' platinum. And wow, MbL has vision. By the way, Hera also has vision of a castle going up right in his face. And so is it any wonder he taps out? He's down 43 villager kills to 6. He's down 40 total kills. And when you're down that much, but your villager count remains the same, 126 to 127, it tells me that you have invested your food in rebuilding your economy. And unlike the civs we saw recently, the Hindustanis, the Persians, you do not have any kind of town center. You don't have any kind of discount on your villagers. And so you are paying full price for each one. And when you're plopping down 50 food for a villager to keep up 37 villager deficit, that is a lot of cavaliers that you are not training. And even though Hera still has enough resources for a good amount, maybe, what is that, 8 or 9 more cavaliers? I mean, look at the army count, 50 to 20. And it's not 50 with 40 skirmishers. It's 50 with 35 Frankish cavaliers. Hera's also given up all map control, which means gold. Yeah, his tertiary gold, his secondary stone are being tiefed here by our Frank, and all of the contested resources out on the map, except maybe this gold here that Hera's seen. Has he seen the stone at the bottom? He hasn't even seen the stone at the bottom. Not that he really needs stone at the moment, but that is unfortunate. But seeding map control, seeding control of resources, and seeding momentum mean that you are playing against a civilization that any second now can have a chivalry stable pumping out the paladin upgrade. And by the way, with chivalry, the paladin upgrade comes in at over a minute quicker. And not that MbL has the resources for it. MbL actually has fewer resources than Hera when it comes to flesh and blood, gold, and food units. But Hera just, I mean, he got put into a corner. Look at this. There's no way out. Nothing he can do. MbL sees everything to the north if he tries to run this way, to the south if he tries to run this way. By the way, MbL sees these gold miners, so Hera's not going to be able to mine an ounce of gold before some of these cavaliers get turned south. And again, he's got a few cavalry units up here with spotting, but you are not a Frankish nightline unit with extra line of sight. You are just a basic cavalier with a very shitty amount of line of sight. So Hera just falling behind on every single metric possible, realizes it, taps out, lives to fight another day. Let's take a look. Heavy cavalry to crossbow, cav archers to heavy cavalry. Pikemen, I mean, this must be right at the end of the game. Yeah, there's how many pikemen out on the field now? 8 pikemen out on the field. And like I said, the halberdier upgrade, 600 gold, I believe it costs. Yeah, not a cheap upgrade, but one that perhaps Hera should have gotten earlier, especially since you're the Burmese. And now look, with forging, which adds a +1, these pikemen should have a +4. So can you imagine halberdiers with another +3 attack? You're not facing paladins just yet. Although who knows how many Frankish throwing axemen can start popping out of these no fewer than 5 Frankish castles that are going up. And so MbL just absolutely swarming, killing villagers, forcing Hera to focus on his economy, while he himself just roids up his military, pushes forward. We got PKPM for Hera, his usual 200 to 300 right in the middle of the game. Also, not too dissimilar, 33 minutes in, 34.5 minutes in. The economy is not that bad, to be fair. I mean, if you remove the 700 gold, it's a little bit worse, but not bad at all. This is a very tight race here. Trash going to our Burmese, scarce resources going to our Frank. And I said the stone isn't as important to our Frank, so of course MbL has to prove me wrong by mining 2,000 more stone than his opponent. 2 conversions to 1, 8 raisings to 0. But really, it's the map presence, the map control, and the momentum here that force Hera to resign, I think. And with that resignation, MbL, our Frank, takes the W in grand fashion. But GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.